Okay.
Hello, fellow Sith and Jedi Knights across the galaxy. This is Star Wars Alliance podcast. I'm your host, Nick. I'm here with Patrick. Want to say hello?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our review of Star Wars Rebels Season 2, The Lost Commanders.
Now, off the back, this was a brilliant episode. We got return of Captain Rex, Commander Gregor, and also Commander Wolf. This episode was really interesting. We had some, facts from the Clone Wars, and we learned something new as well, kind of. From the
Mm-hmm.
clones like point of view how we got to learn about their chips in their head, how they managed to take it off, and how they didn't want to fight in this war against the Empire because they know that the Empire is hunting for some of the last remaining clones across the galaxy. So we're going to get into our full review here, and yeah, let's kick off, shall we?
Yeah, I agree. This was a good episode. I don't like how they did the ending a bit, but we'll get to that
Yeah,
later. And just want to let you know, too, if you don't want to see any spoilers, please watch episode first before you watch this review, because this is a full analysis review. So now, let's
yeah,
get on to it. So the episode begins with here, in one of the Rebels command,
ships. Yeah,
command,
it'll be more like a crucible. Put it that
yeah,
way. They're all like in the command center, trying to figure out like a plan to, fight against the
Empire.
Empire.
And because of the commander's ship got blown up in the first episode of Star Wars Rebels premiere, they're trying to figure out what to do, trying to get more allies for the
I'm trying
rebellion.
to find like a hiding spot, like a U base. So
Yeah,
I'm reckoning that we may see Hoth in the Rebel show.
I will think so too. I think that I'm actually more betting on Love and 4 than Hoth.
Yeah, Yavin
Because,
4.
yeah,
Because
Love
it's
and
like more
4.
jungly.
Well, not just
So
that, plus 2, Love and 4 is the first rebel base to
yeah,
appear in the Star
episode
Wars
4.
trilogy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're looking for bases, basically. And Ahsoka has the idea of someone that she knows who could maybe help out. But the problem is,
She
she's not.
doesn't know where to find them.
Well, she knows where to find them because it was so easy to find.
Yeah.
It was like so easy. The problem is, though, she's not gotten any transmission or whatnot from them. So the rebel crew, our crew, decides to go out looking for them, which doesn't look like they did that much. It was not that hard to find them
Yeah,
whatsoever.
because
I
they had the droid thing.
Yeah, it was not just that too. It was before that. They didn't even plug in the droid thing until afterwards. I, I,
Yeah.
I think I think that was the problem with this episode. It felt like it was not hard to find them. It felt super quick and fast,
Hmm.
and I think that's the problem with the one time of a 23-minute show. But I think though you could have done something with that. Like you could have cut out some of the fun. Well, yeah, you could have done something else or something at least to make it felt like that they had a little bit of a hard time or
Yeah, the
something.
reason why I liked this episode was because do you know how they used the droid to find Rex and all that, and it
Yeah,
said in the numbers like five. What was it?
it was not five. It was
717,
717.
and that we managed to find out what the numbers actually mean. That was the clone's birth date.
Yeah, but but I yeah, but the thing is though, that's what their names are when they are born, right? The
Yeah.
numbers. So the thing is, if I remember from the Clone Wars, in season 4, for example, we heard what Rex's number was, and I think it was longer than that.
Yeah, it was like some CT something.
So they contradict themselves and they messed up there. Also, too, if you listen to the droid's voice, it's so much more different than it was in the Clone Wars. Because with that droid, for example, as you see on the screen there, holding in Sabine's hands, that droid always had a much more not darker, but deeper voice.
Hmm.
And as you
And
heard it, it was much more of a regular droid, loud, high pitched sound.
Yeah, and it didn't like sound like a droid at all. It kind of like sounded
Yeah.
like a kind of like a future realistic
Yeah,
robot movie.
I don't know how they messed up on that. Why couldn't they not just get the same voice
Yeah, they
actor?
could have just
It's
gotten like some audio from the Clone Wars and place it
yeah.
in there. That's like
Well,
like
not just that. They can easily just do what they did with the Clone Wars. It's the same crew, so I don't understand why they're having problems with continuity errors with the Clone Wars a bit. That's just such a weird thing.
yeah. Would you agree that the animation has gotten a wee bit better with
Oh
the
yeah,
clone?
yeah, the animation and
Yeah.
detail. I mean, for God's sake, Sabine looks way much better here than season one, in my opinion.
And she
But
died, and she like dyed her hair, etc.
yeah,
for this season, as we also saw like in the promo, like the promo poster for
yeah,
season 2.
yeah. I agree. Animations got better, but I think though they are over animating them a little bit too much.
I don't really care, unless we get like a proper like this is probably gonna be one of the best seasons apart from season 1. I mean,
I,
season 1 was a wee bit slow.
well, I found season one to be very nice. You know, better.
Yeah,
I think season one of Star Wars Rebels was better than season one of Clone Wars, in my opinion.
yeah, I would agree with you there as
But
well.
but I still say though that the Clone Wars of season one had much more of the better, not dramatic, but cinematography. It had better, I think, cinematography and better scope of the galaxy, like surroundings were better.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about like, story wise and the characters, I think Rebels did a better job.
Hmm.
But now let's go back though to Rebels here very
Yeah.
quickly. So Ahsoka gives them the droid here, and Ahsoka now is going off to her own mission to find
And to
Darth
find
Vader.
out, yeah. And also Ezra says, "Are you not coming with us?" Because Ezra really wants to learn more about becoming a Jedi, and try and develop the like how the Jedi senses like a person, like how Ahsoka, as we saw in the trailer, done.
Yes, and the thing is, I'm very interested to see what they do with Ahsoka's arc. Like,
Yeah,
how's
me
that going
too.
to play out? And they're still hinting that Ahsoka might or might not know that the Sith Lord is
Anakin.
Anakin Skywalker. I mean, she gives it. I mean, there's two things here of Anakin Skywalker in this episode. Ahsoka said, destroyed find her and Anakin sometimes, and Rex says a quote that Anakin said to
Him.
Rex. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting that they're putting the focus here on Anakin.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that we get to see like a flashback of them, Captain Rex, Ahsoka, and all that fighting
Yeah.
in the Clone Wars. I
Uh,
really,
there's some.
really hope.
Yeah, there's something that we want to talk about with Anakin here, but we will do that when we go a little bit more later into the
Yeah.
review here. But now, with our next image here, we see that they reach the planet. I forgot what
Uh,
it's called. The
uh,
fall?
oh, no, it's not called Lafol. It's like the
No, no.
Celios. It's like the Celios system, like how we go around in
Yeah, I
circles
don't
all the
know
time.
why I said La Fall for. But basically though, when they got to there, the hyperdrive is damaged. Chopper didn't say anything, so basically
Yeah.
now they're stranded right there until they fix the hyperdrive. So
Yeah,
they
that
take the
was that was a really funny part, with Hera and Chopper. How Hera was like, "You didn't fix the hyperdrive before we headed into hyperspace."
yes.
So
So now they take the Phantom to go down to the plant, and they use the droid to try to find Rex. Which in this shot here, they look up and see, the old, I forgot what it's, Imperial, not a rebel, a, what do you call them? A
it's
rebel,
it's a Republic Walker.
there we go, thank you, a Republic Walker. And as
Welcome.
you see too, Sabrine's look there is totally different from the first season.
Yeah,
Her
and like
helmet is new too.
and also like Seb's animation and like
Yeah.
Ezra looks just so like
Mm-hmm.
shocked at like we managed to find like clone troopers from the Clone Wars, and we see Kanan like, these guys are not gonna be good. They're going to shoot us down.
Yeah. Which Wolf did do that.
Yeah, and like he says the Jedi came for revenge.
Yeah. Now here's the thing I want to talk about Anakin here. Rex did say something about the Jedi were not the ones who betrayed us, right?
Yeah, it was the Empire
Yes, well, the Republic basically.
Republic.
But
Yeah,
the thing is, now does he know that Anakin?
it's Darth Vader.
Yeah, well, not Darth Vader because he didn't see him with the suit or anything. But well, maybe he did. I don't know for sure. But the thing is, though, do you think that Rex was with Anakin during the attack of the Jedi, or do you think that Rex left Anakin on his own will, or he didn't know that Anakin was a part of the leadership of the attack of the Jedi? I think he should know, but the thing is,
Yeah,
it's interesting to see what happened with Anakin and Rex. Like, did they spread apart? Did they get into a fight? Or he just didn't know anything at all?
about him anymore.
Yeah, like Ahsoka. Like,
Yeah.
because Ahsoka doesn't know that Anakin was a Sith Lord. She doesn't know what happened to Anakin whatsoever.
I am hoping that Rex will tell Ahsoka. I'm not sure if he will,
Yeah.
but
What?
maybe.
Well, the thing is, we know Ahsoka doesn't know anything about Anakin.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, Rex, I think, might know for sure something because he was still part of the Clone Army all the way
From
up.
500, yeah,
Yeah,
501st Battalion.
yeah,
How they took control of the or when Palpatine just commenced Order 66. I mean, they were just marching upstairs, like
yeah. But
like he just announced that in 5 seconds, and then boom, the clones are already there.
yeah, and the thing is, we did not see Rex in that shot. Of course, we
No,
have not seen
I'm
him.
I'm I'm reckoning that he probably escaped. Pulled the chip out before Order 66
Well, of
happened.
course, if he didn't, then he would have killed the Jedi.
Yeah.
Now it's very interesting though how Wolf is so scared of the
Which
Empire.
yeah, maybe he doesn't want to die by them, or maybe he's
Well, of
thinking,
course that, yeah.
yeah, and maybe he's thinking oh, the Empire is too overpowered because there's only three of them against a
Hmm.
whole army of
Yeah.
stormtroopers.
Well, it's not just that too. I mean, remember the Empire basically destroyed Camino. Basically,
Yeah.
killed. I don't know if they see. That's the thing. They didn't. Even in this episode, they didn't specifics say that the Empire killed the clones, or they just had them, gone. I think they did kill some of the clones. But no,
Yeah.
they couldn't kill some of the clones. See, that's the whole thing about this chip thing that's contradicting, I think, with the prequel films. It's just because after the clones killed the Jedi and whatnot, they didn't automatically turn back to normal or something. They still stayed with the Republic and still, became this threat.
Yeah.
So there should be some. There were some clones during the first years of the Empire. So I don't know how they got rid of lots of the clones. I know they stopped.
Ah.
I know they
Well.
stopped the production because they
Yeah.
did destroy Camille. We know that. It's just that I'm hoping Rebels does explain how did the clones not be in the Empire anymore.
Yeah,
You know?
this is what I'm thinking. Do you remember back in season 6 of Clone Wars, so the arc stories,
Yes.
like the first two episodes, like how Fives, goes to Camino. Was it? Is it Fives? Yeah, Fives goes to Camino, and he's processing a chip
Mm-hmm.
in his head, and it kind of explains a wee bit, and he had it removed.
Yeah.
So maybe, and how then Rex comes to Camino try and convince Fives everything's gonna be alright, and that's probably Rex to listen to Fives.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking about. Then he told Gregor and Wolf to pull up their chips,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
I know that, but that's not my big question. My big question
yeah.
is, what did the Empire do with the clones? Did they just kill them all off, in some years? Or did they, say, we don't need you anymore, you can leave, or you're decommissioned from the army or something? Because that does happen.
Hmm.
I don't think they did kill the clones. I know they destroyed Camille, but I'm really hoping that they just decommission us the clones and had them move off, or some of the clones rebelled because they took out their chips and they died. But it's just gonna be interesting what they do there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now moving on. We see Ezra here, of course, saying the number of Rex's birth date. And then after that, of course, Rex says his name and everyone else. And of course, Kanan's not, too fond of this. And so we
Yeah.
move on with the scene later, which is my favorite scene from this episode, is with Kanan's fear and anger of the clones. And I love it too that Ezra is still trusts, the clones. All for the episode. He does. Even
Yeah.
through there might have been like a thing where, the Rex could have betrayed them, but it was actually Wolf. But Ezra still thinks they're doing a good job. It's just that I love the tension here with Kanan, how we get his backstory a lot more, how he is afraid and how he hates what the
The
clones have
clones.
done to
Yeah.
his life.
And also like how he explains how his master died as well.
Yeah. Also, too, I do like that we see Hera's point of view on this. How she understands what Kanan's going through, but as well, the clones. She reminds him the clones have saved tons of lives, even her own. So
Yeah.
that's very interesting, and I really do like those scenes. I think all of my favorite scenes are in the Phantom.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. And now we move on here, we get to see that Wex interferes and say, we're not bad clones. We remove our chips. We didn't, did the
Follow the
attack.
orders. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very interesting, And as you see there, Wex is pointing to where they all had their chips removed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, really like that a lot. And of course, there's a close shot of Sabine, which looks beautiful. I really love that. And this is this part here where Seb is being used as bait for
Yeah, this bit was like really funny because Gregor went all crazy.
Yeah, and it's
But,
weird too how he became crazy and kooky. I don't know if something went wrong with his chip removing or something, but yeah.
yeah,
And
he wasn't like that in the Clone Wars.
no, and here's Commander Wolf, of course, pulling back the moving and pulling
Yeah,
back the controls to catch the beasts
yeah.
to
What happened to like his eye? Cause his
yeah,
eye, like it kind of looks like the Geonosius, bug
yeah,
thing.
that's true. And it's a little bit weird. And of course, here we get to see Seb for the bait right there, you
Yeah,
know. And I really do like this scene, but I am very disappointed with one of their sound designs, because when the line basically was starting to get not destroyed, but starting to get weak, and you hear it malfunctioning. The malfunctioning sounds are the sound effect you hear in episode 1 with the podway scene.
yeah,
And I really wish to use a different sound effect, because when I heard that, I just right away thought of the scene with Anakin with the podways. How the podways was not working, it was not going, and I really wish to use a different sound effect.
hmm
But oh well. It's still a very nice scene, very lovely scene, And Kanan, because of this, he still doesn't trust him, and he doesn't trust him even more after this, of course, because he's pissed off that he would use his best friend as bait.
yeah. I mean, it was a really funny scene how when Seb comes out of the
Mhm.
monster, Gregor was like, "Oh, you catch the big one, yeah."
Yeah, and we do like that, and we do like too that he did. I really like it that the voices for the clones are the same, but they're totally different, because you can
Yeah,
tell, because you can hear Rex's voice and you can definitely tell who is who talking. I really like that a lot.
and the guy who played the clones, he kind of went up to like a high pitch voice for Gregor because it was like so crazy.
Oh yeah, and we like that too. I really like all the stuff they're doing with the clones here. Really loving it. And you see the beast right here too that they captured. So very cool. I don't remember the
And
name.
and I also loved a bit how Ezra and Kanan like helped each other out. How
Hmm.
Kanan like puts Ezra on his shoulders, and then Ezra just like what were the two sticks? Were those Magna guards? Like
Yeah, they almost look like man guards staffs. Yeah.
yeah, and then he managed to release kill a monster, and boom.
Yep, perfect. And they have a well, they didn't even eat the full thing because well, the Empire came along. But before we talk about the Empire again, we get a lovely scene here with Kanan, Ezra, and Rex. You know, before the probe droid comes and ruins the whole thing here. But we get a nice thing of where Rex, telling Ezra, how much of a mature leader he can be. Followed by example. How he says the line that Anakin told him. You know.
Yeah, and I also liked how emotionally calm Rex was. How he has never seen like any Jedi like him before.
Yeah, well, not like him. I think
Not like him.
it reminds him maybe of Anakin, maybe
Yeah,
a bit. So yeah, and also too now we get the thing where we find out that Wolf was the one who sent the transmission to the Empire to come to the planet to get the rebels. So because he's afraid that,
he doesn't want to lose his friends.
yeah, he doesn't want to use his friends, and he's afraid that they will kill off them for helping the rebels.
Hmm.
And I really do like it. I'm a little bit weird how easily he can be so afraid and scared of the Empire, but I get it at the same time. He doesn't want he doesn't want to be the clones that what happened during Order
The Clone Wars.
66.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Clone
he
Wars.
doesn't want to be one of those ones who got shot down and killed by the Empire because he disobeyed the order.
Hmm.
Because basically the clones are the Empire's property.
Yeah, the weapons of the.
Yeah, because the Republic turned into the Empire, so they still own the clones. So yeah, and now that's it basically. Basically, the probe droid comes and whatnot.
And I loved a bit how like said was I hate probes in his
Yes,
head, and then Gregor and Seb just like dodged the blasters.
yeah, but
And
basically, so
and
basically,
sorry, you go on.
I'm sorry, yeah. So basically, they find the prop droid, they try and shoot it, it's flying away. Ezra gives the gun to Rex, and Rex shoots it down with one shot, which is very cool that Rex still has his,
Good
army
aim.
skills. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the episode ends with a beat to continue thing with them knowing that the Empire will come and the rebels can't leave because the probe droid shot the Phantom's engines. So basically, they have to fight for their lives with the Empire until they can fix the Phantom's engines.
Hmm.
So yeah, so that was the whole episode. I think it was a very good episode for season 2, and I can't wait to see episode 3 coming up here soon. To the continuation of this episode, it's gonna be very nice.
At least we don't have to wait like for any breaks
Oh
or
yeah, yeah,
anything.
yeah. I've been so pissed. Like, if you want to see the next episode, you have to wait for 2 more weeks. I'm going, fuck you.
And you're never watching the show again. And I would give it like a 10 out of 10,
I'll
honestly.
I'll give it this episode. I would give it 8 out of 9. That's
Not
because
bad.
I felt like there's some stuff they could have done a little bit better. But other than that, though,
Yeah.
it's very well done. I'm very happy to see Rex again, and I can't wait to see what they do with the next episode and the overall season 2 because I really want to see this Ahsoka and Vader fight. I really want to see this whole thing with Ezra and the sister Inquisitor because I think there might be something going on there, which is going to be very interesting. I don't care about the brother; he can go poop
I
on
think
himself.
I think the sister might be Barris.
No, Dave
Really?
Filoni confirmed that no, it's not Barris.
Damn it, that'd be so awesome if it was so.
Uh, I would have not liked it just because I think I don't know. Maybe it would have been cool, but I don't think Bears would have been anyways a Inquisitor, to be honest with you, because she
Wait, did she not say in the trailer that she's one of the seven sisters?
yeah,
Does that not recall to you, like back in season 4, I believe, when Ventress goes to the Night Sisters?
it says season 3.
Season 3, sorry, when she goes to
Yeah.
the Night Sisters. I'm reckoning that she's one of part of them.
Me, I don't think so because the skin tone is totally different. I don't think that's going to be it. But it's going to be
Yeah,
like a new thing because you got the brother too. And remember, the Night Sisters never had any brothers. You know, they only had
yeah,
sisters. So it's going to be a whole thing with brothers and sisters. Okay.
hmm, yep,
Yeah, but overall, very good. I can't wait to see the next season. I
same
mean, not
here.
next season, the next
The
episode.
next episode, I cannot wait either. It's just going to be mind blowing, big battles. Maybe a space battle?
I'm hoping to see some good space battles. I'm really, really hoping we get to see some real, real good space battles here.
Hmm.
So that's going to be it for this review. I hope you guys like it. Please comment and rate our stuff. And if you really enjoyed what you're hearing, subscribe and stay tuned for more Star Wars Rebels reviews because we have more coming out.
Yep,
And I am very sorry that we're not reviewing the Blu-ray yet because I've not bought it yet. I'm still waiting
neither
for
have I.
some. Yeah, I'm just getting some more stuff right now. I have to wait until more money comes in for me to get that. But yeah.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that, and also just comment down below what you thought of this episode. Do you like Rex being back? Do you like how the Emperor's gonna come? Maybe like I don't know, capture him, which is highly
Hmm.
doubt it. Or what do you think of the episode overall? Put your ratings down below in the comments, and yeah, may the force be with you guys. And thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Yep. May the force be with you. Bye.